Hey guys, so Splatoon 3 recently had third kits added to the game after 3 years, which is ridiculous. But anyway, they finally came out with them, which is very exciting. However, you might have noticed I haven't made a video on them yet. Well, this was supposed to be the video where I played with some of the third kits, and also probably on the new map that they added. But Google Cloud, the second I hit the recording button, Google Cloud decided to take a bit of a bathroom break, and that meant Splatoon servers went down for like 2 hours or something, and that was really unlucky for me, and means I could not actually record the third kits video for like nearly 2 weeks afterwards. So this is the video that I had to record instead, just playing a bunch of offline Splatoon, which is a hell of a lot more boring, but sorry, you can blame Google Cloud. I can't do anything, Nintendo can't do anything, it's Google's fault that their servers had to take a bathroom break right when I was about to play Splatoon. So this is the video you get, guys. Sorry, I will be making a third kits video very soon, but until that video comes out, you're just going to have to enjoy this. So, enjoy me not enjoying Splatoon. Splatoon 3. I don't really play this game much anymore, do I? I feel like the last time I played it was like the Salmon Run Gold rotation, which happened actually not that long ago. But I haven't seriously played this game in a while. Oh, whatever, let's get into it now. Oh, apparently I'm not online, which I have a hard time believing. Connecting to the internet. Yep, we have internet. Alright, guys. I've never seen Splatoon take this long to connect to the internet. Is everything alright, Splatoon? Are you feeling good? Okay, we are connecting to the internet. Yep, and we are still connecting to the internet. I have internet on my phone, which is all fine. I am pretty sure I have it on my computer, because I just downloaded a bunch of things. Oh, one Splatoon YouTuber just said, are the Splatoon servers Nintendo servers down? Oh wait, never mind. Multiplayer maps and modes have updated. Right as I... Oh, okay. Let's have a look at the details. Checking server status. The server is operating normally. I don't think I believe that. Okay. Well, I guess we're not going to be playing Splatoon 3 third kits for a change. We're going to do something else. But what am I going to do? I could play the single player. Actually, there is something I need to do in the single player. Let's do that now. Okay. You know, the one thing that I need to do in the single player, you walk over to this little box thing, you wait until Callie shuts her trap, you start it up, you skip the cutscene, and then you wait 24 hours or something until the next day, and then you retrieve your reward, and it's probably nothing special. And that's all you do in the single player. You then press back to city. That's all you do. That's all I do in single player. Alright, now what do I do? Alright, I've played the single player enough. Man, this is depressing. How long is the servers going to be down? Let's have a look at what, you know, I've recently got these Splatoon amiibo, the Pearl and Marina side order ones. We may as well use them and see what they have to say when you're offline. Okay, cool. Can we look at the Grand Festival? Yeah, colorful evenings. Why did they have to release an update to do that? You couldn't do this offline before, but now you can. Why not? Wow. It's like I'm in September 2024 again. Jeez, I wonder what this looks like on the Switch 2. I would find out for myself, but unfortunately it's kind of hard to buy a Switch 2 when you're trying to buy a car. Even on the Nintendo Switch though, this is pretty impressive. Like, I give this a pass. Alright, can we do the thing where we clip out of bounds? Second try. Dude, I'm too good at this glitch. And I made an entire YouTube video on it, and people complain that they couldn't do it. That glitch is so easy, dude. Which means you couldn't do it. I just realized though, what am I actually doing this for? I miss Grand Festival though, in all honesty. I wish they would not do it again, but like at least, you know, maybe bring Tricolor, maybe bring this stage back to the private battles, maybe. Something that I can't help but notice they forgot to do in this update. Why? Why did they forget to do that again? Wow. I am really flogging a dead horse here, aren't I? I am proper just trying to get any sort of content out of playing Splatoon offline. This is so... What am I doing? Dude, no way. They even invited Chick Hicks to this Grand Festival. That's how you knew it was lit. When even Chick Hicks came along for the ride. Right. Where are we going, guys? Okay, screw it. I'm kind of bored of the train station. Next song start? No, let's just go back to Splatsville. I don't really think there's much content I can milk out of just looking at the Grand Festival venue. That went out of style literally like almost a year ago now. That's actually kind of depressing now that I say it. I always forget how much more sad the game kind of feels when you play it offline. There's only one other thing that I could think of doing while this game is offline. You know, the game tried to like cater towards its offline customers with, you know, a certain game mode that like they might have forgotten about it a little bit, but like they still put in some care and effort into it, and you know, they definitely tried, and not everybody loved it, but you know, it was a good try. Yeah, let's play side order. This is the only other thing I can think of making content out of. A Splatoon YouTuber is crying for me as I finally create Splatoon content. But Nintendo wanted me to make this content for you, so you can blame Nintendo for that. Alright, we may as well play side order. Marina, what hacks have we got? Yep, cool. Alright. Thanks, Marina. Let's actually play side order. I haven't played this in probably like a year. That's a lie. But I haven't played this for a while. How about just the regular splatter shot? I'm feeling pretty lazy today. Let's go. Let's just go with the harder ones. Screw it. I cannot believe that I've been forced to resort to playing single player content in Splatoon because Nintendo like decided to fall asleep on the one day that I needed them the most. There we go. We beat the first floor. Sink the 8 ball. Oh yeah, I remember this stage. It's like piss easy. Oh cool. One of these things. What does this thing do again? I think it like kills everything, doesn't it? You know what? Maybe it's for the best that we're doing this. It gives me practice for Splatoon 3 when I'm actually playing it. I'm kind of just waiting to get one of these disc piece thingies so I could just like, you know, beat the game. We're just going to be at this for like 10 minutes until one of these enemies drops a disc piece, I guess. Or I die. Well, I almost made it. But now that I've lost a life, I can probably complete it now. But nothing's going to be there. I almost had it as well. Oh, no, okay. They sent everything at me at once. There we go. So how long did that floor take? Only 3 minutes 55 seconds. I feel like it took maybe 10 minutes. Oh my gosh, wow. Riveting Splatoon content here. No. These suck. Okay, I'll take that. Dude, I'm so low energy. I was like pumped when I was about to start recording this video, but then I got told, oh yeah, you're not playing Splatoon today. You're playing Splatoon, but not. You know? Marina, can you stop dicking around and give me actual good stuff? You know, if there's one thing that Side Order is good at, it's at least keeping you busy with Splatoon when you have nothing to do when you're offline. I know I've been kind of like complaining, but it's really not that bad. Like, it at least gives you something to do, even if you've effectively completed the game. Thank you for the key that I've already unlocked. Yeah, sure. We'll go for some main firing speed. You know, I might actually need to start finding some ink saver main chips, because I am running out of ink very fast. Oh, cool. Oh yeah, I guess. Wonder if anybody else has been talking about Splatoon being down lately. Wait, apparently it's not just Splatoon, there's a major server outage. Twitch, Discord, Google Cloud, Google Meet, Google Nest, Character AI, Etsy, Khan Academy, Google Drive, Google Maps, Pokemon, Dialpad, Mailchimp, High Level, Amazon Web Services, OpenAI, Cloudflare, Breezeline, Dragon Ball, State Farm, Embark Studios, Gmail, Rocket League, DoorDash, Wells Fargo, Marvel, MLB, Fortnite, Spotify, Shopify, Snapchat, Tekken, Boxy. Just like basically anything, it's down. Other than, I guess, Twitter and Blue Sky, apparently. So it's not just Splatoon. That's good to know. Reroll, give me Ink Saver Main. That is not Ink Saver Main. That is Explosion Knockback. I don't even want any of these. Main firing speed, sure. Drain even more of my ink tank. There are definitely some very stressed workers right now, like worried about like pretty much anything and everything. Meanwhile, there's just me playing Splatoon side order, being mildly annoyed over the fact that I can't make a YouTube video that I wanted to. Why did they give these stages such like unhelpful names? Shut up! I don't want this garbage. Marina, can you stop being a bitch? Yeah, sure, more ink damage from far away. That'll change the course of history. Stay calm, mate. Assess the situation. Thanks, Oct, for that incredibly helpful advice. Now let's finish the game. Control room, 4 lives. That's cute. Stingray alert. And he dies. Let's see how many points we earned. Probably not a lot, because I just went with whatever the hell I felt like using at the time. I don't know if that's good or not. It's probably okay. Do you think that Splatoon 3 has finally fixed itself? Well, not really Splatoon 3, but just Google as a whole. Let's find out, shall we? No. Okay. Well, see ya, guys. Alright, so let's talk about Splatoon Raiders, since I may as well make this video worth watching. I'm definitely excited about the game. I mean, I'm a Splatoon fan, so I'm obligated to be excited for any new release. But I do have two kind of main concerns, and one of them I feel like is going to be a bit controversial, so I'm going to get that one out of the way first, so that hopefully people who are smarter about games than me can explain it like I'm 5. So, my first concern, why is this a Switch 2 exclusive? Other than the fact that they're just trying to... Nintendo wants to sell more Switch 2s, basically. Because I've looked at the trailers, and honestly, Splatoon Raiders doesn't look that intense for a Switch 1. It will definitely not nearly run as well as a Switch 2 could run it. But, like... I feel like this could be on both the Switch 1 and the Switch 2. Nothing about this screams, whoa, okay, this is definitely only something a Switch 2 could handle. So, if somebody who's smart about graphics and frames per second and not having frame drops in games because of your powerful system or whatever can explain that to me, what part of Splatoon Raiders is way too tricky for the Switch 1 to handle, please show it to me in the comments. I do hope, though, that maybe, since it's going to be a Switch 2 exclusive, that they might take advantage of, like the mouse, maybe this would be like their trial run for mouse controls, and they'll see if they can do it for the next game, or maybe just update Splatoon 3 to have it. Who knows? My other concern was not really that big of a concern, but just something that might, like, throw the game's quality down a little bit for me, personally. And that's that it's a single-player only spin-off, and that has me a little bit worried. Just because I'm like, when you beat a single-player campaign in Splatoon, in like any Splatoon game, it's kind of hard to go back to it, And since this game is purely single player, I'm worried that that's going to be the same case here. And I know that happens with like all single player games, but Splatoon is different because even though they all have single player campaigns, you can always come back to Splatoon games because of the multiplayer. But it's going to feel weird having the first Splatoon game that you can't really do that because it's just single player. That's a little bit of a worry for me personally. Maybe the gameplay will actually be a lot more different than I expected and be like, oh, you can always come back to the single player campaign, but it can be a little bit hard to make that without it just making the same thing as what everybody else has already done. But either way, I'll still play it, I'll still enjoy it, and I will eventually get a Switch 2 for it yet. I don't have a Switch 2 yet because if you did watch the video, I know that some of you probably just skipped ahead to this point in the video just to hear me talk about Splatoon Raiders. Well, if you didn't do that, you would have heard in the actual video that I said I was saving up to buy a car. And the problem with cars is that even the cheap ones aren't that cheap when you have a pretty low salary like I do. And they will often set you back a couple of £1,000. And unfortunately, I don't have that. I am making money, so it's not out of the question. But it means if I'm trying to buy a car, I kind of can't buy a Switch 2 because I can't really devote £500 roughly into a Switch 2 when I really need that money to buy a car and insurance because I need to learn how to drive. And in the UK, the driving test is very hard, but that's a good thing. Yeah, but I'm not here to talk about driving tests in the UK. I'm here to talk about Splatoon, so... Ugh. It's just frustrating because it means I can't get a Switch 2 yet. Not until they drop the price, which I don't think is happening. My mum thinks they will. I don't think they will, mate. I'm pretty sure Nintendo's going to stick to their guns, but... Oh well, what are you going to do? I will get it eventually. But on the bright side, we don't even know when Splatoon Raiders is going to come out, right? It could be next year. It could be 2027. Maybe the game's really early in development. I mean, who knows? It could come out any time. They just said, yeah, we're making a new Splatoon spin-off, and then they refused to explain further other than just, the usual launch, the announcement trailer details, right? So, on the bright side, at least it's not a very big, urgent thing. It's not a huge priority. Other than that, that's all I've really got to say. I do actually want to know, will they have amiibo support for Splatoon Raiders? That was one thing I was kind of wondering because I have a lot of amiibo now and I kind of want to start a new Splatoon game with all of those amiibo ripe and ready for me to just scan one by one, just get a ton of gear, easy peasy. But other than that, that's I guess all I really wanted to say about Splatoon Raiders. So thanks for tuning in to the end of the video to hear me talk about my thoughts there, and please explain to me how Splatoon Raiders is a Switch 2 exclusive graphic-wise, if you can. Anyway, yep, that's all I have to say. Bye.